Hello there, this is Seneca Waugh with your Clear Next Step, and I am so thrilled right now to have the opportunity to introduce you to Gary Walljasper. And Gary is going to share more information with us. He and I get to have a conversation here about the program that is coming up here this fall with Gary. It's called Building Your Leadership Effectiveness. Gary, thanks so much for being with us today.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Seneca.
You bet. Gary, would you take a moment to, you and I have worked together for many years in many different capacities, and I would love for you to introduce yourself, particularly in your interest in leadership. How did you get into leading and teaching people how to become better leaders?
Yeah, sure. Well, my background is human resources, but the interesting thing for me is that I have a degree in accounting, which I've never used. But I fell into leadership early on as an HR advisor, and as I continued in my career, the interest that I had in people leadership, both formal and informal, just continued to grow, both from a coaching perspective, from the idea of what does it mean to be authentic and what does it mean to show up, and throughout the years it just continued to be something that I had an interest in and learning more about, and also sharing my experiences, both positive and not so positive.
You bet. And this program that we are thrilled to be able to launch online in a virtual setting, you and I have worked for years together, and this is one that you have delivered in multiple other times. Building Your Leadership Effectiveness. Gary, how many leaders have been through a program like this or similar to this that you have taught them over the years?
Yeah, sure. It's been about 1,800 leaders have attended the program, and the number of industries that it's crossed are several, from financial services to manufacturing, to nonprofit, to academia, and I just enjoy that the opportunity not only to work within each of those industries, but also at different levels. So frontline leaders in manufacturing plants, to some of the most senior leaders in financial services organizations have participated. And it's just been great to be a part of that and to listen to their stories. I took about a year to actually develop this series, and it's really based on not only some of the theory, of course, and the concepts, but also on the things that I've done well and the things that I've not done well. And we use those experiences as well as the participant experiences to really think about in real time, how are we doing? How are we doing in each of these respective areas? So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. And that gets us to one of the things that's been so valuable about this program is the idea of reflection. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of misses in my career, and one of the misses was really the concept of reflection. I'm building a mindset of reflective leadership. And reflection doesn't mean a 3-hour retreat every other day. Reflection can be a few minutes, but it's the concept behind that is thinking about what's important. What's important for me to know in a situation? What's important for me to share in a situation? What's important for me to ask in a situation? And to think about it in that context, that moves us to more of a responsive mode versus a reactive mode. And in doing so, it gives me the opportunity to share, to ask, to communicate, to present myself, or a leader presents himself or herself in a manner that people say, you know what, I want to follow that person, not because I have to, but because I want to. I use the idea that there are 10,080 minutes in a week, and I always ask the participants, how many of those minutes do you use just to reflect on how you are doing in this important role of being a people leader.
Thank you, Gary.
You bet. Thanks, Seneca.